So, those of you that don't know, I'm Sunny Love. I teach new and existing female entrepreneurs how to build an online business whilst creating a lifestyle of freedom and choice. And you're in this group because you are one of those ladies that are either building your business or you're well established and you need to know some new techniques, some new tricks of the trade, a bit of marketing, that sort of thing. So you're definitely in the right place. And one of the things that we do every single week is we spotlight between 2 to 3 female entrepreneurs. We spotlight their personality and their business so that, like I say, you get the opportunity to get to know them. And today I have Julia Hill with me. Now, Julia actually lives very near me, kind of, in Devon. I'm in Somerset, she's in Devon, and she's an illustrator. Now, the work that she does, and she's going to tell you more about it, but I'll just give you a quick intro. She loves to draw with pen and ink, and she uses the natural world as either a subject or incorporating them into her designs. So I'm guessing that you get inspiration from the natural world as well. So welcome, Julia, and thank you for coming on the Spotlight
Hello,
session.
hello.
So, what I'm going to do a little later, let's get to know you first. But what I'm going to do a little later is I'm going to share my screen if it's okay with you and just show some of the work that you do because it's absolutely amazing. I'm gobsmacked at the detail that you go into. So, first of all, I want to know, how did you get started as an illustrator? I mean, is that something that you've always done, or
Yeah,
what happened?
yeah, it's something I've always done. I mean, right back from when I was at school, I was getting told off for drawing and doodling on my book covers, and it's something I've always I've always done. They made me cover my books in wallpaper in the end because I was drawing all over them. And I went on from there to I went to college to do graphic design because in those days they didn't have illustration courses. So the only chosen art route for me was graphic design. So I went into that, which was all right. It was okay, but it didn't really fill that hole, if you see what I mean. I was still doing lots of other sort of drawing stuff afterwards, and I'm not a fine art person either. So I didn't really fit into this box that was offered in the education world at the time.
Hmm.
So I went off and did that. And then whilst I was at Swindon, I was a bit sneaky actually. I'm very proud of my sneaky story, to be fair. I knew that at Swindon College they had an illustration course. There was only 2 illustration courses in the country at the time. And I knew they had an illustration course. So I applied for the graphics course in Swindon, thinking if I get on the graphics course, I'm one. I can maybe sneak onto the illustration course. And that's what I did. I did a graphics for a year and then asked them if I could swap onto the illustration course. So eventually I just ran the 2 next to each other. So I came out with HND in graphics and one in illustration as well.
Hmm.
So I did that, and getting work afterwards was just, it was so hard. We didn't have the internet really in those days. It had only just come in. So it wasn't a big, as like it is now.
Mm.
But I worked for the Devon Wildlife Trust for a while. That was the best job in the world.
Mm.
Absolute
So
best
what
job.
what did you actually do for the Devon Wildlife Trust?
I used to do all their in-house design. So I would draw my favourite thing was drawing the illustrations for the site boards. So when you go out to an area that's owned by the Wildlife Trust to look at all the beautiful surroundings, they'd have site boards telling you what things were and where they were. And so I used to do all the illustrations for the site boards and just general in-house stuff, doing their leaflets and doing just all sorts of sort of designy, drawy things like that. I
Hmm.
absolutely loved it. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, as it was a charity and I couldn't survive on traveling, so I had to make a decision and I left. And I don't know whether that was a good idea or not because I loved it, but it's taken me to other places. I ended up in education. I went to a school to do their desktop publishing. It was an in-between job really, and I thought, well, I need a job, and I need a job in what I'm doing. I'll just do this for a while and see where it takes me. So I ended up in a school, and I ended up with all the kids because I don't know why, but the kids seem to love me. So the kids that had been told to go and calm down somewhere would always come and find me.
Right.
So I decided after I had my children that I quite like this. I like working with kids. It's great fun. So at the school at the time, I was doing doing all their desktop publishing and stuff. I did the school magazine, and generally just graphic stuff. And so I went and retrained myself and ended up in education for 20 years. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But I was still doing what I'm doing now. But I had to do that as a sideline, if you see what I mean. It wasn't my full-time career. And then 2014, I thought, I just need to do it now. I need to do this now full-time before it's too late, because I'm 53 now, and I didn't want to, you leave it too long and I didn't want it to be a hobby anymore. I wanted it to be my full-time career.
Yes.
So I bit the bullet, and I went back to university. Best thing I've ever done. It was wicked. It was much better than the first time around. I had a ball. It was absolutely brilliant. I did a degree in illustration, as they didn't have degrees when I was younger in illustration. So I thought, to get myself back into the industry, I will go and do a degree in illustration, and I did, and came out with a first-class honours. I'm rather proud of.
Well done.
That was in 2016. So I've been working now for myself ever since.
Right.
And
so when you came out of university, you didn't bother looking for a job. You just went straight into business.
No, I went straight into business. I mean, I've done a few bits here and there just to sort of tide me over in other things sometimes, because to start with, it's hard. It's not easy, and you need to have an income. But what shocked me, well, I got into a lovely man called Lennon Fu. He is just amazing. He's a local vet, and he got in touch with me to ask me if I would be interested in doing some pet portraits for his VIP customers at the vets.
Oh, okay.
And I owe a lot to him at the moment, because he really
just lost the internet.
I was doing little VIP cards with the pets on it, drawing the pets from his practice.
Yeah.
And that has now led me into the sideline that I do of doing pet portraits. And I must have done about 250 now. So I really love doing that. It's not something I ever expected to do.
Yeah, right.
So
I am going to share some of your pictures in a second, but the detail is amazing, absolutely exquisite.
which ones have you got?
Oh, well, I'm actually looking at two things I'm looking at. I'm looking at your business page on Facebook, which those of you that want to have a look is actually facebook.com juliahill.illustrator. So go over and like the page. It's absolutely brilliant. And I'm also looking at your Etsy shop as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the one that I'm looking at, there's a little dog, Lola.
Oh, Lola, yeah.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
there. And I can see the other
Lola.
dogs. There's like a pug, like a golden retriever, a little poodle, or cocker spaniel, something like that. But they're absolutely beautiful. They really are wonderful. So what happens, when you do these portraits for the owners, they come to you, do they? And they commission you for that?
Yeah, they contact practically all of my work that I do for the pet portraits comes from Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
And they will contact me, and I need photographs, good quality photographs from lots of different angles, because sometimes, I mean, you can have 8 pictures of the same dog, but if it's in a different light, they will look a completely different color.
Yeah.
And trying to capture the actual personality of that dog and not get a 3-dimensional flat, oh look, there's a picture of a dog, is harder than it seems. And so I like to have lots of photographs from different angles so that I can get it as right as I possibly can. And then I go from there. But I use, where are they? My trusty fine liners.
Right. So explain to me what they are that you've got there.
These are very tiny. You won't be able to see it from there, but they're literally like needles. These ones
Yeah.
are 0.05 and 0.03 black fine liners. So
Right.
I don't use pencil.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of my eyesight's a bit weird. I can't see pencil very well. I know that sounds really weird, but people that do pencil drawings can use different hardness and softness of pencil to get the tones. I
Mhm.
can't see those tones. I can only see basically one. So I have to just sketch the outline in a hard pencil, and then everything is done with a black pen. And
Mm.
I can build the color, and there's no color, but I can build the tones up to indicate the color and the texture using my black pens, my trusty
Yeah.
pens.
Yeah.
I
It's
must have gone through literally 500,000 of those.
yeah, I expect they're gold to you, aren't they? So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can actually see what you're talking about by building up the color on one of the pictures that you've got on your page. Look, I tell you what, let's not just explain it. Let me share my screen because I really want people to see this, because I think that the work that you do is so detailed. I mean, I don't have any of my own pets, but I can tell you if I did, I would definitely commission you to do one. How long, just while I'm sharing my screen, we can keep talking. How long does it take to do a drawing?
Oh, now a standard A4 general pet portrait will probably take me anywhere between 14 to 18 hours, depending on what the subject matter is. A
Hmm.
white dog obviously will take a lot less time than a black one does. The black ones are the hardest because you have to start off with a very fine layer and
Mm,
then build the colors up to
right.
get that. Otherwise, you end up with a just solid color of black.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the A3 ones take an awful lot longer.
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
The one with the bunnies in the forest, I think that might be on there somewhere. I think we've got that there. That's on my cushion there. It's the bunny rabbits in the forest, and I drew that at A3, and that took me about 72 hours to draw that.
Wow.
So it's not a quick process.
Yeah. Let's have a look. I've got a few here, so I'm just sharing those. Actually, that might have taken me into your Etsy shop. Let's have a look. Um, Here we go.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we
yeah.
got the bunny
Cards,
rabbit
my
there.
little cards.
Yeah, we got the hedgehog and the fox, the squirrels as well. So there's some beautiful stuff. Now with your Etsy shop, I've noticed that you've got other things. It's draw anyone that wants to go to the Etsy shop, by the way, your link. What we'll do is at the end of this, we'll put the links that you can go to, and you know if I tell you who you should actually talk to, Julia, you should talk to Annie. Okay, I don't know whether you saw the interview that I did with Annie Bork, but Annie is a an animal communicator. She does fascinating.
Oh yes, I know. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So
yeah. I'm writing it
I
down.
want you to connect with her because I'm sure, you know, when people are, you know, she actually communicates with the animals and communicates back to the owners about what they're saying. So there's obviously a connection there with the animals, and if an animal
Yeah,
is passed over, you know, maybe that would be also a nice gift for an owner to give to themselves that they
yeah,
have you doing the drawing. So, you know,
yeah.
it's an avenue.
That I must say about probably about 80%, probably more than that, 84% of all the the pet portraits I do are of animals that are not with us anymore,
Oh,
and
okay.
that it makes it so special.
Yes, yeah, I can imagine. And it's funny because I know that people sometimes also gift a drawing to someone that's lost a
Yeah,
pet as well. I mean, I've seen that many times. So is that sort of like the main work that you do? Because I can see from Etsy that you've got lots of other things here. You've got cards, you've got actual pictures, key rings, quite a.
no, it's not. I've had a thing about putting things on things, for
Mm.
want of a better way of putting it, for a very long time. I like to have something on something. So rather than draw on the walls in the house, which is what I've done quite a lot, much to my husband's dismay, You go in my house and you'll find all these little weird things hidden in weird places, like little caterpillars crawling up the walls and just odd things in my house. And so I like creating an image that will sit on something. It's a slightly different process because you have to make sure that it sits right on something that's either round or tall, or so I generally try and create a series like the rabbits one. There's a series of 5 of those now, I think, and I've got another one going to come out in a few months' time, different series. But yeah, that's what I do, and I put them on anything from key rings, mugs, mouse mats.
Wow. See,
You name it.
hold that up for us again, and just put it towards the camera.
That's my mouse mat. Can you see it?
So put that up towards your camera.
That's one of. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
That's one of my. Yeah, that's one of my. This is an older one. I haven't done so many of those now for ages. But anything, I can put anything on a mouse mat. So I get different companies to do it for me. Some companies are better at doing some things than others. So I like the quality.
Yeah.
But these ones, these are my pride and joy, but they've caused me so much grief. You see that?
I do.
That is got a little back stamp on it, and it's very heavy. It's a 12-inch English fine bone china plate that's been fired with my Alan the Pussycat illustration on it, and I've got plates and bowls all to match with matching. I don't know if you can see the boxes. The boxes are there, but all the boxes have been screen printed and the tissue to match. And I did those first when I was at uni, and I did them with there was a different range, an entomology range, and they had all bugs and leaves and flowers on them, and I sold them before I could make them. So I kept redoing those and getting some more, and then I thought, right, now I'll end those now and I'll do the Hand of the Pussycat ones. And a guy approached me and asked me if I would like to do them to stock his shop. And I'm not going to lie, it cost an absolute fortune to get them done. I had 75 pieces in total, and he went, and I've still got lots of stock, basically. And they're absolutely beautiful, but I can't post them because they're China, so I can't. So I generally tend to take them to what I did before lockdown anyway. Take them to craft fairs, and people buy them for christening presents and wedding presents and such. But they're my pride and joy. They are beautiful.
Yeah, they are. They're stunning, absolutely stunning. So if someone actually wanted to commission a piece of art with you, or go to your shop, well, we'll put the links down for the shop as well. But what are you looking for from the members in the group? Is there a particular client that you're looking for?
I don't think so. Not really. It's one of those things with the pets. It's pretty obvious, because if somebody's got a pet, or they know somebody that's got a pet and they would like a portrait, then that's fair. That could be absolutely anybody. Most of my gifts are home gifts, so there's a lot of prints and there's mugs and there's that sort of thing. So they're ideal for birthday gifts, or I've got a range of illustrated letter prints that I do with people's names on them. I did the illustrated letters a few years ago, so now I use them to make up things like Mr. and Mrs. Harvey for their wedding anniversary or something like that. So everything covers quite a huge range but commission wise, mostly I have done books. I did one last year for somebody, and I loved doing that. So I do that occasionally. I'll do book illustrations if people want them.
Yeah.
So it is quite diverse, really. I think there's not much I can't really do in that sense. I can.
Well, it's interesting because in the group we have some members that are either partway through writing books or considering writing books. So there's a good reason for you to get in touch with Julia as well, and talk to her about some illustrations for your books.
There are some on my page. I think on my Instagram and Facebook. I think the Hansel and Gretel one is on there. I illustrated the Hansel and Gretel story, and so all those illustrations are on there. Are on my Facebook page if somebody wants to have a look. But again, it is all black and white line. I do work in other mediums, funnily enough, but I've got so used to people knowing me for doing my black and white line. I don't really go down the other routes anymore. I have done, but it's not something I really publicize too much.
Yes,
So,
yeah. Well, like you
right.
say, if you get known for something and you're very skillful at that, I mean, it's very specific. It really does stand out. You know, whether it's the flowers and the leaves, the letters, animals, things like the owl and the pussycat. In fact, I noticed the owl and the pussycat. You've got that with the pea green boat as well there.
Yeah, some of them have got the pea green boat on. Yeah, not all of them, but some of them have. I've just done some wedding cards for somebody actually with that on it. So
Oh,
they seem to be quite popular for weddings.
oh, right,
So
right.
yeah, yeah, which is lovely. But it's my favourite poem. I just had to do it because it's
Yeah.
just my very, very favourite poem.
Yeah, I
So
have to
I'm
say
looking
it
at
is
doing
mine
them.
as well. And the reason it's my favourite poem is because my mother, who's now passed away, she used to recite that to me. That particular
Yeah,
one and an Irish ditty is the the two that she used to. So yeah,
I'd like to get the time to do. Is it the Jumblies or the one where he's got the great big hat with all the animals in? I'd like to find the time to do that.
yeah,
But it's just fitting everything. It's just with everything that goes on in life, and then creating the images that I do for people that commission me to do it, and then trying to create more images for my stock in my shop. It's finding that time to take up because they take a long time to do. They're not a quick,
mm, yeah,
they're not a quick fix. So
yeah. It's not a 10-minute scribble, is it?
no, the flowers and the floral side don't take me as long because I think I've done it for so long. I grew up with around surrounded by the countryside and flowers, and my mother had the most amazing garden, and we've always been a very outsidey, flowery family, if you see what I mean.
Yes, yeah,
So the flowers and the floral sides, I can just do those straight off. It's very rare that I need to go and reference one unless it's a foreign one that I've never come across.
yeah,
But
sure.
so I can do those quite quickly.
Oh,
But
nice. So
you know,
okay, Julia, let's actually just find out a little bit more about what you do outside of illustrating. You know, how do you spend your time? Do you go out and about? Have you got a family?
yeah, I've got two. I've got a husband. I don't know why he's still here, but he is. Uh, Bless him. He puts up with me. um, Husband. I've got two daughters. One's 23 and the other one is 21. I think then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both at home at the moment because of the situation with lockdown, and they're all at home.
Hmm.
I have a mini zoo in my house. I can't even count them. I just don't bother trying to count them anymore. I've got somewhere between 20 and 26 pets.
You're
I
kidding.
love animals.
Different pets. Different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love animals. I'm always the one where somebody finds something in the road. It's phone Julia, she'll sort it out. Or So over the years, I've ended up with an awful lot of animals.
Yeah,
Most of them are rescues.
yeah.
Everything ranging from I've got two big dogs. I've got a husky and a Malamute. Cats, obviously. I've got tortoises. One of those belonged to my nana, so that's come down the family.
Mhm.
The other two have been given to me by other people who found them that they need to find another home for them. I've got snakes, I've got lizards, I've got dragons, I've got frogs, I've got you name it. I've got it in my house,
Oh my
and
word.
I love it. Actually, I'm just thinking
I
if
am
I ever come
surprised
really
your husband is
unstuck, I
still
can
with
just.
you.
Oh, he moans. Believe me, he moans. I could
Oh, that's
charge people to
funny.
come in my house, couldn't I? So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a mini zoo.
That's right. And I suppose they give you
But
inspiration
yeah,
all
I've got a
the
lot of
time.
pets. What else can I tell you? Uh, my hobby, really, my drawing hobby, what I do illustrating is basically what my hobby is as well. So I don't really have another hobby.
Yes.
because that's what I do.
Mm,
I am doing an awful lot of volunteering at the moment, and I absolutely love it. I
yeah.
started doing that when we first went into lockdown,
Mm,
and I do 3 days a week at the vaccine centre, and I do volunteer shopping on a Friday morning, and phone calls as well to lovely people who are on their own at home, and I just love it. It's better than any paid job I've ever had. I tell you, it's great. It's
yeah.
really, really great.
Well, that's
And
what that's
it's,
wonderful because something
I
as
mean, people,
simple as making phone calls is such a valuable thing because many people are on their own, and
yeah,
even when people are not on their own, sometimes they need someone else to talk to other than the one that they've been locked down
yeah,
with.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I've just, oh, the beautiful bird sat on my, sorry, I got distracted then. My studio windows look out into my garden, and it's full of trees and bushes, and I get the most beautiful birds in
Oh,
my garden, and they just sit there and I can look at them. Sorry.
the animals must be totally drawn to you, I reckon.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've always been lucky in that sense. Animals don't really seem to be frightened of me. They're humans quite often are, because I think, well, I'm one of those people that once you've met me, you don't forget me. And I don't and I don't know. It used to bother me years ago because I used to think, oh no, like, I'm just a bit, but I can't help. I just am who I am, and
Hey,
I'm
look,
quite,
you said
I'm
you're
quite a lively
53. If
person.
if you
I
can't
am.
be yourself at 53, I don't know when you can be. And I love the fact that I'm older. I'm going to be 59 on Saturday. Uh,
Really? Oh, oh, blimey.
yeah,
God, I hope
59
I look
on.
as good as you at 59.
You what?
I hope I look as good as you at 59. I
Oh,
was
shut,
considering the
stop.
sellotape this morning to hold my face back, but
Well, look, I tell you what, Julia, I've met you now, and I won't forget you. That's for sure. And I really hope that the members of the group don't forget you either. I want them to really have a look at your stuff because you just got to look at it. It's just amazing. The skill that you've got, the beauty of the work is outstanding. And I just want to say thank you very much, Julia. We have to call it a close now, but
yeah,
thank you
thank
so
you
much
very
for
much.
coming on.
Yeah, oh, lovely. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're more than welcome, Julia, and
I'm
I'm sure
always
that we'll
around.
do it again soon.
Brilliant. I'm always around. I'm usually at the end of my computer if anybody wants to ask anything, or, you know,
Yeah.
how to draw this or whatever. I'm always around somewhere.
All right.
So I
Wonderful.
don't go.
Like Julia says, just ask any questions at all, pop them down in the comments or just get in touch with the direct. And I'm so glad to have met you properly on here. And I
Oh, thank
will
you. And
see
you too, my lovely.
you. That's all right. See ya.
Take care, sweetheart. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.